They said no maid ever lasted in that house. Not one. The gate was grand, the mansion breathtaking. But inside was a battlefield. At the heart of it was Madame Rose. Beautiful, polished, and deadly with her words. She slapped without warning. She yelled without mercy. And her insults could cut deeper than a whip. She had broken 9 maids in 6 months. Some ran away crying. Some left before morning. One jumped the back fence barefoot. Then Naomi walked in, dark-skinned, quiet, carrying nothing but a nylon bag, and the fire in her eyes. She wasn't there to run. She wasn't there to please. She had a sick daughter, nothing left to lose, and a weapon Madame Rose had never faced before. What Naomi did in that house didn't just change her life. It broke the unbreakable Madame Rose. The mansion on Bishop Adeyemi Drive, Banana Island, was the kind of place people slowed down to stare at. A towering black gate, a flawless driveway. Cars so polished they caught the sun like mirrors. But past that perfect exterior, the air was heavy. The staff moved like shadows. The cleaner avoided eye contact. Even Mama Ronke, a chef who had once cooked for presidents, measured every step, as though afraid to disturb the silence. That silence had a source, one person, Madame Rose Richards. Some called her Madame Ice, others Madame Perfection. And when she passed, older staff muttered a name in hushed tones, one they dared not say aloud in her presence. At 33, Madame Rose looked like she had stepped out of a fashion magazine. Tall, fair-skinned, and always dressed like she had a red carpet waiting, even if she was only going to the garden. Her perfume lingered long after she left the room. Her words, even longer. She didn't just give instructions. She commanded. She didn't just discipline. She struck, with a slap or a sentence sharp enough to leave invisible wounds. In this house, her opinion was law. And in just half a year, 9 maids had walked out under that same black gate. Some in tears, some in silence. One without her shoes. The house itself wasn't the problem. The work wasn't the problem. The problem was her. Madame Rose. She was Mr. Femi Richards' second wife. The first had died many years ago, leaving a silence in the mansion that was never truly filled. Mr. Femi Richards was a man who carried power like a second skin, almost 60, with silver streaks in his hair, 2 thriving oil companies, and more houses than most people owned pairs of shoes. People spoke his name everywhere. Of course they did. But what they whispered about the most was the maids. Until Naomi arrived, nobody said hello. Nobody asked her name, because they were tired of learning names that changed every week. The housekeeper simply pointed to a mop and muttered, "Start with the marble floors. Madam is coming downstairs." Naomi didn't argue. She tied her scarf, picked up the mop, and began to work. She had one reason for being there. Her daughter, Deborah, in and out of the hospital. The bills were piling high, threatening to drown her. Naomi whispered to herself, "Just endure it. Even if they insult you, endure it. 3 months, that's all." For Debbie, she was still wiping the center rug when she heard it. Click, clack, click, clack. Heels, sharp ones. Then silence. Naomi looked up, and there she was, Madame Rose, standing at the top of the stairs in a wine-colored silk robe, holding a cup of tea like she owned the whole world. She looked Naomi up and down, then at the mop, then at the water bucket beside her, and without saying a word, she tipped the bucket over. The water splashed across the clean tiles. Naomi gasped, stepping back. Madame Rose came close, eyes cold. "This is the 3rd time this week someone blocks my walkway. I'm not in the mood. Clean it. Now." Naomi didn't speak. She bent down, picked up the mop again. Her slippers were soaked, but she kept cleaning. From the hallway, the housekeeper whispered under her breath, "She won't last. She looks too soft." But what nobody knew was this. Naomi had buried her pride long ago. She had cleaned homes where they treated her worse. She had begged in hospitals for her daughter's life. She wasn't soft. She was silent fire. The next morning, Naomi woke up before 5 a.m. She swept the front yard, cleaned the glass doors, and mopped the sitting room again. This time with less water, no splash, no mistakes. She didn't come to joke. By 6:30 a.m., she was in the kitchen, washing plates beside Mama Ronke, the cook. "You woke up early," Mama Ronke said, surprised. Naomi smiled gently. I'm just trying to do my work. Just be careful. This house, it's not by early morning, oh. It's by surviving Madam's mouth. Right on cue, they heard the slippers. Soft, controlled, angry. Madame Rose entered the kitchen with a silk robe tied tight around her waist and her phone in her hand. "Where's my lemon water?" she asked sharply. Mama Ronke rushed forward. "I was just about to. I wasn't asking you." She cut in, turning her gaze to Naomi. Naomi wiped her hand and bowed slightly. "I'll get it now, Ma." Madame Rose narrowed her eyes. "Room temperature. Not cold, not warm. Just right. Do you understand?" "Yes, Ma. Because if I take one sip and my throat feels like it entered sauna, you will regret your life." Naomi nodded. "Yes, Ma." She picked a glass, poured water from the dispenser, and carefully added 2 slices of lemon. She walked slowly. Steady hands, quiet feet.